Good morning, boys and girls. This is Kosala, also known as Marventus, bringing you yet another procast from the Diamond League. Once again in the third person, by popular request, I'm doing more of these procasts now, as people seem to want to view them, and I've got no problem with that. Right, here in the top center we have one of my favorite Zerg players these days, Mr. MTWDimaga. And in the bottom center we have MouzMana, a great Protoss player. Right, this should make for an epically interesting game. Here we have, right, Dimaga's Overlord coming down to view what Mana's up to. And let's get a production tab up so we can see that. Pylons and probes. Pylons and probes. I'm sounding like day 9. Pylons and probes, everybody. Right, and then there are drones and overlords. Drones and overlords to match the pylons and probes. Both players working on their economy, as indeed you should be doing in the first couple of minutes of the game. Here we have Mana's probe coming around the corner to do a little bit of spying of his own, because of course he doesn't have an overlord to fly over there. Right, Dimaga getting a nice broad view of everything here. And as we can assume, in this early stage of the game, there isn't a whole lot of anything going on. Now, both of these players, I'm sure you're familiar with them if you watch the casts on YouTube in general, both high-ranked diamond level players. First gas now going up for Dimaga while he's also chasing away that probe a little bit, and there goes the spawning pool at 14 supply. This probe still running around the place, harassing a little bit, poking at minerals, right, mining the odd radius amount or two. That's a rather crafty thing to do. He's going to rob Dimaga of 50 minerals, boys and girls. I think that's the way it is. No, he managed to get away. And yet with no minerals in tow. Interesting strategy there from MouzMana, certainly taking the micromanagement to heart when it comes to the economy. And here we have the Overlord scouting now by the gateway. Right, we have one gateway up by the ramp. Do we have something else going down here? This looks to me like a second building on the way. Yes, indeed. We've got a cybernetic score finishing up that wall off. And the economy looking solid here with two good rows mining away. And over here, Dimaga is matching that more or less probe or probe for probe. Oh, now he's doing a little bit of harassment. But is that probe going to go down? Is it going to go down? He's down to his last 1.5 bars of health. I think it's possible that probe... No, Zerglings coming out just in time to get rid of that probe. Is he going to get away? It doesn't look likely. There's a probe heading over there to get the hatchery down at 21 supply. Looking solid so far. 4 Zerglings on the map for Dimaga. And so far no units out whatsoever for Mana. But he does have his 2 main buildings out, and there comes the first Zealot to guard the way. Now we have a probe going down here at the very edge and corner, and then we've got both gases up and running. This is important for Protoss, of course, because they are very gas heavy units. Do need to get those gases mining very, very early on. Not so important for us on the Zerg side of things. As you can see, in no hurry there, Dimaga to get his second gas. His queen is out, his second hatchery is about to be done, oh actually halfway done. So far both great focus on the economy. We have metabolic boost just completing now, and a second queen on the way as well. That's an early second queen, popping out nicely in time to get out there and put lava on that hatchery. Some excellent timings there from Dimaga. And economy looking solid, almost 3 rows. I'm continuously amazed at how pro players can get this full saturation so damn early. Right, it's 5 minutes into the game, fully saturated, a couple of units out. Now in the Bronze League we don't have this luxury, because had this been a game that I was playing, by the time 5.5 minutes rolls wrong, somebody would be coming at me with their first push. And if I hadn't had any units out, it would have been all over. But here we have both players working for a solid mid to late game. Here comes that very first push now, maybe? No, just guarding the front door. 2 sentries and a zealot. They are poking out a little bit. Some Zerglings doing a run by. And they make it. No, they're coming around. Is that probe going to make it? Yes, it is. The sentry is doing an excellent job of holding them off. And there goes the expansion for Mana. So far, no major unit production. There's just 3 sentries, a couple of zealots, right, a probe, and that's it. So major focus on expansion and economy at this time from both players. No major heart. That probe is on its last legs. He is down. The sentries did not get there in time. Quite interesting this. I've noticed quite a bit from the higher echelon players. There's a whole lot of sentries and not a whole lot of anything else early on. Because being able to block the path is really more important than killing anything. The first of the stalkers is now out. 2 stalkers out. So warp gate technology has been researched, and the economy looking very solid there, running into past 1 command group. So I imagine some of those will transition down here when this expansion is up and running. And still no huge count of units, just enough really to deal with anything that might be coming his way. Dimaga not been slacking here. He has almost already completely saturated the second base and got a few roaches out and coming out with spine crawler and an auxiliary hatchery at the same time at 55 supply. That is an impressive amount of stuff. Spending here, we find that the Protoss player is well ahead on the army count. Only 700 minerals worth of armies sitting for the Zerg Dimaga so far. But nonetheless, that is more than sufficient for the time being. Economy looking solid, both gases going up here, second gas having gotten here as well, and we have an evolution chamber coming out at the main base. So let's see what this is gearing up for. It looks like Dimaga is off on a ground army heavy view for the time being. And similar result over here from the MouzMana, who is only pummeling out gateway units for the time being. Here comes that first push at the 8.5 minute marker. Or was I getting excited there unnecessarily? No, he is actually pushing out. But where is he pushing out to? Is he pushing out to the gold? No, he runs by the gold. He looks like he's heading straight for Dimaga. There is the quick run by the Zelnaga tower to get better vision. More porting happening there from the pylons. Nice work here by putting them at the edge to get the units out there faster. He's running into Dimaga's creep. Pylon going up there to reinforce easily. How will Dimaga handle this? He has got a handful of roaches out there, but is it enough? More roaches coming in. 1 spine crawler is down. Is another one getting focused down? No, it is being ignored. More roaches being pummeled out, but the force fields are in just excellent shape. More roaches coming out in the back, can't make it to the bottom. Completely held at bay by the force fields, done excellently by MouzMana. The roaches at the front are whittling away a little. The queen came into the foray but died as well. There is still a strong force left standing for Mana, and he has reinforced with additional stalkers. What excellent force field play here coming from the Protoss player. This is some nice work. Those roaches are making their way down and getting stuck every single time. Absolutely no ability to get down there to reinforce the army, and they're getting whittled down a little bit at a time. Excellent play from MouzMana. It looks like Dimaga is in trouble here. He's only got 3 roaches, bunch more pummeling away down here, but is it enough? That auxiliary hatch looks like it's gonna go down before anything happens. Drones coming in to reinforce now. It's looking tight, even more roaches coming from the back, but that force field, finally circumnavigated. Will this be held off? It's looking solid there for a moment, but now the zealots coming in as well. We have a handful of stalkers versus a handful of roaches. The zealots being focused down quickly. Nice job there by Dimaga. Excellent microing from both players. That zealot is going down as well. Can't retreat because of the force field. A stalker, rather a sentry coming there just in time. Stalkers going down by the bucket load over here, but also being reinforced from behind. Is there going to be enough units? There are no queens to add additional lava. Dimaga is running out of units like crazy. He has got another handful coming from behind here. This is going to be unbelievably close. That stalker is being focused on, but even more stalkers coming from behind. This looks like it's going to be tight. With the queens down, there's no way to macro up a bigger army. The drones coming in to help out and pushing the stalkers away just a little bit. Queen coming down here from the back to larva up on one of these additional auxiliary hatches, and my goodness, that first round has been held off just barely. The economy of Dimaga looking a little shaken. More zealots coming in. Is this going to be enough? It is going to be one hell of a heroic defense if we manage to pull this off. The stalkers are still harassing. That queen goes down as well. That is the last one. This could be a macroing disaster for Dimaga right now. The last few roaches out there. He's running out of minerals. And this looks like it might be GG. MouzMana may have managed to pull this off by a hair. What a nail biter of an initial rush this was. Great micromanagement from both players. And there is the GG from Dimaga. And there it is. Very, very, very excellent game indeed. I hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, Dimaga and Mana not disappointing on the sheer suspense of it all. Right, if you liked it, do rate and comment, of course, and all the other good YouTube stuff that one does. Looking forward to casting more for you. Bye-bye.